Welcome back to Nonsense, where we answer the tough questions as always. Like, if a werewolf became an astronaut, landed on the moon, would he stay a werewolf or stay in human form? Find out on this episode of Nonsense. Welcome back, everyone, to the O Solo Mio FM Bob Only Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host with the most, FM Bob. How's it going, everyone? So back to that question. I don't know how that would honestly work. I gotta start. I've made it a point to start answering those weird ass questions I have, and the reason why I ask it because the moonlight is what causes the werewolf to transform into a werewolf. But if he's on the moon, there's no moonlight. It's actually getting hit with direct sunlight, not moonlight. It should be the reflection of the light from the sun to the moon back to Earth that causes a werewolf to change. And mind you, on top of that, it's only a full moon. So it has to be a certain amount of moonlight. But is it still getting moonlight reflected directly from the ground under him? I don't know how that works. Answer in the comment section below. Tell me, what would happen if a werewolf became an astronaut, landed on the moon? Would he stay a werewolf or would he stay a human? I actually have no good answer for that question. Holy shit, a lot to get to, and I'm by myself, but that means because I'm by myself, I get to speed run through all of the conversations. So, first things first, I want to get this out the way. The last episode was the Uvalde shooting episode where me and Invincible go through a timeline and pretty much just discuss how terrible the police did. I have to give an update because that episode was shot damn near 3 weeks ago. Prior to you seeing this, put it that way. The police were in there the entire time. That timeline was actually false. And it was put out by the police department. So they just lied to us. The police were actually in the building the entire time. There's video evidence of the police being in there the entire time with the proper equipment, with, vest, with riot shields. They literally had everything they needed to handle the situation, and they chose not to. And that was apparently a direct order from their management, and the police officers followed the rules. So I don't know who gets blamed for that. I just blame everybody because at that point, it means there was really no reason for them to handle the situation. They had all the gear they needed. They had everything they were supposed to have. They were just, at that point, supposed to go in and handle the situation, and they pretty much just chose not to. So I think that's a lot of bullshit. I'm tired of people lying to us. I hate that this is not common knowledge and common information now. I get it. Again, I'm not justifying that the person who started the shooting should have been able to just do what he want. He should have been met with police officers that were doing their damn jobs. He should have been met with security officers doing their damn jobs. Either way it goes, it just keeps getting worse and worse for the Uvalde police. They are absolutely fucking useless, and there's no other way to explain that. For the simple fact that they had riot shields, they had vests. They just literally, like, if you check out the video yourself, it's literally them just standing in the hallway for damn near 30 minutes straight. They just didn't do shit. They really just didn't do shit. So I don't know what else to tell you, man. The Uvalde people suck. That was a terrible shooting, but I blame the police officers a lot because that motherfucker could have been stopped 6 times over. So it is what it is. I don't know where the fact checkers are, where the fucking political people are now that, like, even defund the police. I don't even hear people screaming defund the police on this one. And this is actually accurately meant to defund the police. Like, I understand you wanted to defund the police when they just don't do what the fuck they're supposed to do. So, somebody say something is all I'm asking. I'm not asking for much. Just shit, man. I feel bad. Like, those kids literally died for fucking nothing. For literally fucking nothing. The police got there actually pretty quickly. They just didn't do shit. They just chose not to do shit. So, yeah, I wanted to make sure that got out there. I did get more information. I didn't want to do a whole nother podcast on it. There's literally 2 fucking episodes that we were talking about one shooting. And I don't want to talk about shootings consistently. That's not what this podcast is about. We're supposed to be having fucking fun. But it was so ungodly bad that I had to at least shed some light on it because I didn't want it to turn into just another school shooting. That school shooting could have been handled. It could have been stopped much sooner. And that was just straight incompetent police officers from top to bottom. So it's fucked. It's honestly really fucked, and I hate it. I honestly just hate it. And I wish somebody would say something. I just hate that no one's saying anything about it. Like, everybody talked about the shooting when it happened, and then everybody started preaching gun control, but nobody's talking about, hey, by the way, the police didn't do their jobs at all. Not even a little bit. I'm not saying that we need to arm the teachers. I jokingly have multiple times said maybe we should arm the children, but somebody should have done something is all I'm saying. A little bit of something. But I digress. I have been hearing you people. I've heard the clamors and the cries. And I know that's an interesting way to start from that to the next topic, but there has been so much video game news that has pretty much primarily only been on Twitch. The Twitch shit has not made its way to YouTube and the podcast itself. So I have to go through all of this gaming shit because not all of you guys are keeping up with me on Twitch. I'm like brain farting for some fucking reason now. But yeah, no, not everybody's keeping up on Twitch, and I understand. I stream sporadically on Twitch, so understandable. But no, when there's big announcements, anything Final Fantasy and PlayStation related, I'm probably gonna do a stream about. I am streaming quite consistently, at least once on the weekend and once during the week if it's not a movie or me playing Final Fantasy VII because of all the news, which I'm gonna get to in a minute. But yeah, tons of video game news. I literally had to write it down. So since the last time we've talked heavy gaming, PlayStation Direct has happened, Nintendo Direct has happened, or State of Play. It's PlayStation State of Play, Nintendo Direct. Have both had big press conferences. Xbox has had a big press conference that no one gives a shit about. A lot of games have been sprinkled here and there and been talked about, and I've had the pleasure of testing some things out. Not seriously, nothing that you wouldn't have access to, but I've tested a few things out just because, shit, I feel like I'm starting to become spoiled again as a gamer, and I feel like everybody should feel like they're spoiled again as a gamer. So we got to see the trailer for the new Modern Warfare 2, which looks pretty decent. I don't know, because it seems like it was all theatric trailers for the most part, and then one campaign level, which is, again, their campaigns have always been dope. Modern Warfare always has, hands down, the best campaigns. So can we really knock it for being another great campaign game? Absolutely not. I would love to see more of the weapon customization and the multiplayer maps that they're going to use. I know they're going to do something, I hate to say it that way, I know they're going to do something Warzone related, but my hopes for Modern Warfare 2 is that they keep it separated. Because that's what fucked up Modern Warfare, the original. Was Modern Warfare was great, it was at its peak, everybody was happy, everybody was having fun. When they introduced Warzone, they kept the same mechanics and skills and stat points of all the weapons and translated over to Warzone. That's fine. The problem is it doesn't really work in Warzone. And there was more people playing Warzone than there were at that point playing multiplayer. So they started tweaking all the gun specs and how things worked and what should work and what shouldn't work for the entire game instead of just for Warzone. So everything translated to Warzone and no longer to multiplayer. So then multiplayer started to take a dramatic decline in playability because everything was geared towards Warzone. And that kind of immediately pissed off a lot of people. The reason why people play COD, and Infinity Ward, I know you're listening because you guys listen to a lot of things that I've said over years. And I want to make sure that this gets said and said for the collection of the community. Some people like Warzone. I'm not one of those people. I'm not knocking Warzone. But Warzone was its own thing, separate to multiplayer. Let's find a way to do that. But in the same sense, don't forget, people started to play Warzone because it was a realistic battle royale. And you are slowly diving into the cartoony. Like, shit's getting really weird really fucking fast. To the point where honestly, the only distinction between Warzone and fucking Fortnite is that it's over the shoulder versus first person. But the same level of cartoony shit is there. The same level of ridiculous shit is there. I don't want to see Snoop Dogg as a playable character. I get it. It's cool. It's fun. Whatever. I don't want to see Snoop Dogg blow fucking weed in a dude's face as a killing move. Like, that's silly. Keep Warzone realistic. That's what people wanted. That's what people hopped on for. I get that you're trying to capture some of the players from Fortnite. You're never going to eclipse Fortnite. Nothing's going to eclipse Fortnite. I was on that side of maybe finally Warzone will be the thing that takes down Fortnite. Maybe PUBG was going to be the thing that takes down Fortnite. Nothing will take down Fortnite. Fortnite is now the meta of crossover games. We just need to accept that Fortnite will forever exist. They have made the smart decision to at least have one game mode where building is not mandatory, so a lot more players are going back now. Fortnite will live forever. It is what it is. Let's just accept it. Let's just make games that are counter to it now. Let Warzone be the realistic battle royale. That's all people really want, and I think that'll work well. But again, I understand that things that work in Warzone don't work in multiplayer. Let's keep those two things separate. Stats for Warzone should not be the same stats for multiplayer. Or whatever you have to do. Have different guns for Warzone versus fucking multiplayer. Something where the game stays separate. So multiplayer stays fun. And stays fun for good. So that way we're not having to choose to understand how Warzone works versus multiplayer. That's just my take on it. Take it or leave it how you want to. But that's not the first time I've heard it. It won't be the last time you hear of it. That's what's going to keep COD fun for much longer. You guys did really well with the first Modern Warfare. Let's bring that shit back, man. Modern Warfare is the game that people enjoy the most. Next to some form of zombies in a, Black Ops or some shit like that. People love zombies. But let's make sure that Modern Warfare stays fun for multiplayer. People loved it. People still love it. People still hop onto the original Modern Warfare multiplayer and just do a couple quick matches. But it's not the same as it used to be anymore. So let's get back to the old school. Other than that, let's talk Nintendo. For the simple fact that Nintendo, I won't say it was a letdown, but Nintendo Direct was good. It was good, but it was underwhelming. They brought back Bomberman, which is cool. Pac-Man World's getting a couple games re-released or some shit like that. Very cool. The Mario Rabbids game, cool, great. Nothing overwhelming or nothing that we were like, yes, please give us that. The only thing, and again, they really need to just scrap that Sonic Frontiers game. That game sucks. I think I mentioned it on the podcast once. I don't remember if I did, but let's just... So we're all on the same page. Bob says Sonic Frontier sucks. It's stupid. It's garbage. Scrap it. Let it go. Let's not make this mistake. Sonic is taking a heavy hit right now, and we really don't need any more shit that makes it any worse. The movies are doing good. I hate to say that, but let's just stick with the movies. The movies are working. But the only good news that came out of Nintendo Direct was the fact that they're also, like Xbox, bringing all of the Persona games to Nintendo Switch and Xbox Game Pass. Great shit. I'm loving it. More people need to play more Persona games. I know Persona 5 is the, apex right now. Everybody knows Persona 5, but there are other Persona games. Persona 4 is okay to me, but a lot of people love it. Persona 3 to me is the game. That is the pinnacle of Persona games. That is where it's at. The music is phenomenal. The gameplay is phenomenal. The fact that there's more to do than just the game itself. The fact that you have to upkeep with school life, upkeep with personal lives. They do that in other Persona games, but it's so much more entrenched in Persona 3, where you actually have to make decisions on who you hang out with, how you treat them, how, are you making good decisions with your friends? Are you making good decisions in school to make sure that your, academics stay high? You actually have to go to class. For the most part, you actually have to pay attention in class, and you do have midterms that you have to deal with. It ain't just fun and games, fighting monsters. You actually have to live this kid's life, and I think it's a great touch. The only thing that I was I won't say upset about, is that they're doing Persona 3 Portable, which is the PSP version of the game. Again, not a bad version, but they downgraded it for mobile. So, like the newer Persona games, you get to walk around the city, you get to explore and all of that. And what they did for Persona 3 Portable, specifically, was just make it a handheld system where it's points on the map that you can just teleport to. You're not actually physically walking from location to location. It's not a problem to me. I actually liked it the time I played it because it made traversing a little quicker. It wasn't a hassle anymore. It's let me get to here, to here, to here, and do what I got to do. Persona 3 on the PlayStation 2 was a 3D-based game, allowed you to adventure fully, I won't say open world, but fully explorable areas, you know what I mean? You had to traverse on foot, you had to take the train, you had to go to different locations and whatnot. Was no simplistic teleportation system. Again, I do love it because Persona 3 Portable did introduce a female protagonist to counterbalance just having the male protagonist with different relationships, friends, storylines. All of that shit was different. A lot of the dialogue changed too. Just having a female protagonist, which typically doesn't work in newer games. Normally in newer games where you have the option of male or female protagonists, you typically don't get different bits of the game, you know? Sometimes it's just the same game played out with no changes. It's just, oh, I'm a female now, so I can dress differently. This game actually changes some of the dialogue. It changes some of the people you hang out, some of the people you meet, all of that shit. So a great touch. I'm glad they used this one. I kind of wish they just also had the original Persona 3 as well. Which brings me to my other point. Xbox has mentioned that they're getting Persona 3 and 3, 4, and 5. Xbox has announced that they're getting 3, 4, and 5, but PlayStation has not. And people have been asking me, what's going on? How come PlayStation hasn't announced it? One very simplistic reason. These games were only on PlayStation at one point. Everybody else is just now getting them. So PlayStation is actually going to get these games as well, but because of our new phony Game Pass, our PlayStation Plus system, we're probably just going to get them with PlayStation Plus for one. If I'm not mistaken, Persona 5 has already been available for PlayStation Plus for free. They might just give you a Royal Edition. Persona 4 was available on the PlayStation Store at one point, so they might make that free as well. Persona 3 obviously was on PlayStation 2 and PSP. They have already announced that they're bringing PSP games to the PlayStation. They have already announced that they're bringing some PlayStation 2 games to PlayStation Plus, which means, because of the fact that I know this is a for a fact, the PS3 had Persona 3 FES version, the extended version, available for the PS3 store. So more than likely, yes, everybody will get their hands on these older Persona games, but I think on PlayStation you'll actually have access to all forms of each of those games. So we will get access to Persona 3, Persona 3 FES with the extended 40, I think it was like 30, 40 hours of extra content, and Persona 3 Portable. And as well as Persona 4, maybe Persona 4 Golden Edition, or whatever it was called for the handheld. Because mind you, Persona 4 Golden was a PS Vita game. So we already had access to these games, and they're already saying they're bringing all these games back. So I think PlayStation will just get access to all of these games in their PlayStation Plus tier system, but you will get more options for each. So that's the only reason why I think they haven't announced it, is for the simple fact they might be getting more than just what everyone else is getting. So be patient. I think they're going to announce something at some point, or it's just going to come out. One or the other. So that's pretty much it for Persona. I'm looking forward to it because I have not finished any Persona game, and I feel like I'm the one that put a lot of people onto Persona. I was a big fan of it when I was younger. Just a quick story. The way I found out about it was literally going to a game store, and this dude actually that worked at the game store had all the characters tattooed down his arm. Super cool guy. Literally was just like, if you haven't tried this game, I recommend that you try it. Because back in the day when you used to go to game stores, you could actually ask the guy, like, hey, I'm looking for something kind of cool to play. I've played all the newer shit. I don't know what to play right now. And back then, they actually used to be able to direct you into, kind of coax you into something that was new or different or old and different, you know? A lot of these new guys are just like, well, here's the new hot shit. Here's the next game that's coming out. You want to pre-order something? They don't really know what's going on with the games. And that's not a shot towards... A lot of people always think that's a shot towards female gamers. That is not a shot towards female gamers. There's a lot of dudes that don't know shit. Gamers recognize gamers. And a lot of people that work in gaming stores aren't gamers, sadly enough. Some people just work there for a paycheck. No knock to you, but I would like to see more gamers working in game stores, which means game stores, you got to pay. You got to fucking pay. Because I feel like that should be a thing. Like, it's not even that we are fans of what we do, but we're knowledgeable at what we do. We can make more sales. I could sell you a game for the simple fact that I'm more knowledgeable of games versus a guy who's just trying to make a sale. Yeah, they might get more pre-orders because they don't have a soul, but I can actually sell you some shit that you weren't expecting to buy, or you were maybe thinking about buying because I have some basic background knowledge of stuff that you're looking at. How many times have you seen, and I'm just talking to the gamers, how many times have you seen an older person, you know, a parent, an aunt or something like that, go into a GameStop or some game store that you frequent and say, I want to get my kid something, but I don't know what he likes? Us as gamers can kind of waltz through that and kind of direct them to where they want to go. How old is your kid? What is your kid into? Do you know any of the games he has? Do you know what system he has? And we kind of work with you and make a good decision of what's a cool game to get a kid, because we know what is cool games to play. Whereas the game store, employees are just going to be like, well, this is the new shit, buy the new shit. You know what I mean? They don't really give a fuck. So I think it would be cool to see more games work in game stores. That's just me. But it is what it is. All right, before we get to some more stuff, I want to take a quick commercial break because I got to get paid and y'all got to listen to some commercials. So for those who are listening on Spotify and all of that, thank you. I appreciate it. Because you're the guys that are getting the fucking the ads right now. So you're the ones that are paying me. People listening on YouTube, I appreciate you as well, because you are the ones that get to see my fucking gorgeous face. And you guys are probably the ones that are helping me boost my numbers up to make sure people know that I exist. So thank you to everyone who keeps listening, and thank you to everyone who's listening to these commercials. So enjoy these commercials. We'll be back in a second, and we'll get to talk more stuff. So catch you in a bit. Peace. All right. Welcome back to the Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, still here, still hanging out, FM Babito. Either way, man, I hope you got some good commercials. Hope they were at least informative. Maybe you're going to buy something from them. Either way, thank you for helping me get paid. So, we talked Persona. Other games that have been announced and talked about recently, Ninja Turtles. A lot of people were asking what if I bought Ninja Turtles or whatever, what have you. I told you motherfuckers a long time ago, as soon as they announced a Ninja Turtles game, I was going to be all over it. That new Ninja Turtles game took me back to the 90s so fast. I was a big Turtles fan when I was a kid. I grew up with Turtles, and I aged alongside of Turtles. So I remember watching the OG cartoon when I was a kid, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That version of Ninja Turtles, dope. Incredible, super fun, great theme song, great characters, all of that great stuff. I also grew into TMNT, the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, with the fucking guitar riff. Fucking love that version. With the Super Saiyan fucking Turtles and all of the ridiculous shit. Much darker, much grittier Ninja Turtle form. I grew up with that for a very long time. I still watch the new Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles because, again, Ninja Turtles all across the board are super dope, super fun. Great characters. I mean, what more can you expect? The ninjas, the turtles, they all have personality. Like, goddamn it, like, they have intense fights. They have incredible fucking villains. Like, Ninja Turtles are just great. Like, who doesn't like Ninja Turtles? Comment below if you actually don't like Ninja Turtles so I know who you are so I can hate you personally. Yeah, there's really not much more to say about it. The Ninja Turtle game is dope. I've already beaten it at this point. I unlock Casey. I'm probably going to play through it 1,000 more times. I'm looking forward to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection because I'm going to be playing a shit ton of Turtles in Time. Because Turtles in Time was the first Ninja Turtles game I owned. So I'm definitely going to want to play the arcade version and the regular SNES version. I'm hoping with this hype, because people, I guess, forgot that Ninja Turtles was the coolest thing on the planet. I hope this hype brings back more Turtles games. Because I've been personally hunting for a couple copies of the TMNT games. Not the movie games, the cartoon games. Because those games were dope. That was one of the first few games that me and both of my brothers were able to play back in the day before, games were Bluetooth and you had to plug in a multi-tap to make sure that 4 or 5 people could play a game together. And I didn't have a GameCube, so it wasn't just plug and play. So I had a fucking PlayStation. I had to buy the multi-tap so I can plug in more controllers. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just that old, man. I'm just that old. So yeah, I'm hoping that they bring back more Ninja Turtles games. I know that we are in the day and age of just rehashing old shit because there's nothing really going on. Everything that's not new, and what I mean by not new is just not newly thought of. We're really just rehashing old shit continuously. If you look at all the games that are being released, they're all old games being brought back. All the movies are old movies that they're bringing back. I mean, goddammit, they're bringing back Hocus Pocus 2. No one asked for a second Hocus Pocus. And movies, almost 20 years old? And they're just like, fuck it. Let's bring back these old bitches. And they got all the old actors, which again is great. I'm not knocking it. No one asked. No one asked for Hocus Pocus 2, but we're getting it. But that's beside the point. I just don't understand why we're getting another Hocus Pocus. But yeah, I really hope that more games like that get remade or re-released and things of that nature, because the games that we grew up with, the people in my age group, the true millennials, the fucking 90s babies, we know good shit. We had great games. They dated fast. We grew up in an age where technology was booming, and it boomed right past us. Like, shit is starting to stagnate now with technology. That's why we got so much more backwards compatibility with video gaming and all of that kind of shit. But when you grew up in the 90s, from Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64 to GameCube, it's like, what the fuck? Shit's growing fast. PlayStation to PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, shit's just moving, you know what I mean? Like, we had really big technical jumps. So, yeah, gaming for us is kind of hard now because we just can't play the old shit we used to play without tons of old school setups and whatnot. But, again, I'm glad they're bringing back stuff. Looking forward to the Cowabunga collection. And, yes, if you haven't gotten Shredder's Revenge, please get it. You're going to love it. It's dope. It's just old school fun. I've seen so many TikTok memes about it now. I've seen, old heads, just falling in love with gaming again because of stuff like this. Like this, it's just a great game. It's a simplistic game, fun for the family. Get your kids, get your adults, get your teenagers. Everybody can jump in and have some fucking fun. So yes, that was something great. Metal Hellsinger was another game that I played, that I got to play a demo of. It's available, I think, all across the board right now, but I played it as soon as they, brought it back up, because I heard about it, but they really weren't talking about it. And then during, I want to say it was Summer's Games Fest, that they brought it back out, and they're like, here's the game that we've been working on, and here's a demo. So I immediately downloaded the demo, like, instantly. I'm like, yes, I'm getting this right this fucking second. Metal Hellsinger, for those who didn't watch me play on Twitch, I advise to go on Twitch. I think the VOD's still up there. Go check it out. I had tons of fun playing. It was literally just one level of the game. So let's just imagine Doom with good music, because a lot of you have been on my ass about not enjoying Doom music. Doom is not real metal. It's techno metal at best, but it's not real metal. So imagine a Doom game with good music that you actually have to kill to the rhythm of the music. And what I mean by good music, I mean actual metal in the sense of actual metal singers from actual bands. But wait, not reused songs, a fully new soundtrack for this game. So real singers hopping on a game to make new music for this specific game that allows you to kill to the beat. It's like Doom mixed with good music and fucking Rock Band or some shit from the good old days. There's no way to explain it. The best way I can say is go look it up for yourself. Go check out some of the songs. Go check me playing it. I had a fucking blast. I am so looking forward to this game. It drops in September. I will be playing it nonstop until I'm sidetracked with something else. But it's so much goddamn. Down to the menu music being dope. The boss battles being dope. The guns, the gameplay, everything's incredible. I would discuss it more, but the best way I can say is go look it up. Metal Hellsinger. Go look it up for yourself. They have a trailer with Serge Talkin. I hope that's how you say his name. Tankin or Talkin? I want to say it's Tankin. They have his song available for you to at least listen to. I can't remember her name, but it's the chick from... Oh, my God. I feel like such an asshole. I'm going to just quickly look it up. Metal Hellsinger. Nope. I'm clicking in the wrong spot. Metal. Oh my God, why can't I spell? Why can't I spell? Why can't I spell? There we go. Metal Hellsinger. Alyssa White of Arch Enemy has her own song. Serge Tankin has his own song. If I'm not mistaken, Matt Hafey from Trivium's going to have his own song. My boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Randy Blythe is going to have his own fucking song in this game. From Lamb of God will have their own song. Tons of other artists are going to be in this game. But once I heard that Randy was going to be in this fucking game, I was like, I don't give a fuck what level it's on. I hope it's the hardest level so I can play that level over and over again. Because his song on whatever part of this game is going to be incredible. Serge, I love his song already. I have at this point now listened to, I think it's called Staiga from the Arch Enemy song. Incredible song. And again, I don't want to dwell on it too much because I can't do it justice. You must go check it out for yourself. And if you want to check their gameplay of it, it's great. If you want to go to Twitch right now, look for the VOD. It's right there. I'm probably going to be playing it at least every other day. So every time I stream on Twitch, there will be at some point me playing Metal Hellsinger. So this is why I tell you, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Facebook. That's how you know when I go streaming. And catch me playing Metal Hellsinger. That game is fucking phenomenal. There's no other way to explain it. I'm looking forward to it, and I want to be the new ambassador for Metal Hellsinger, but they don't even need me because the music speaks for itself. It's such a dope fucking game. It's so much fucking fun. So I'm super looking forward to it. All right. A few other things I had to get to. I don't understand why Nintendo didn't say anything about Metroid. We've been waiting for Metroid Prime 4 for fucking years. You said you were working on it. And you even released a different Metroid game before you even shown us a clip of Metroid Prime 4. I need to see something from Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime has been long in the wait. I need the Metroid trilogy to re-release on the Switch. No excuses. Drop that shit on the Switch. You have motion controls. So we can get all of those games ported to the Switch right away. No excuses. Give me Metroid Prime. I need more Metroid. Absolutely. Yeah, there's absolutely no excuse for that. After all of the shit again, they discuss Mario Rabbids, which not that I don't like it, I don't give a fuck compared to you talking about Metroid. I need to see what's going on with Metroid. I've been fiending for that game. I really don't know why they're waiting or delaying re-releasing Metroid Prime Trilogy. It should just happen now. Like, let's get with the program, Nintendo. You're doing good. Don't fuck me too much further. I expect to hear something about Metroid before this year is out. No more teaser trailers, no more just Prime and a number 4. I need to see some fucking gameplay. You've been working on this shit for a minute, so chop, buddies. Which brings me to, I would say, I'm going to call it the question of the cast. The question of the cast, the podcast question of the day. Who is your favorite female video game character? I ask for a simple reason. Because I am so sick of these fucking game bitches talking about there's no female representation in gaming. And the few bit of female representation in gaming is all fucking big titty bitches. That is not true. Just because Tifa exists doesn't mean that she's the only video game bitch. I love Tifa. But she's nowhere even near my top 5, I would think, of female gamers. So I would like to know who's your female game character. Mine, obviously, is Samus Aran. She is the utmost of badassery in fucking video gaming. Again, people flipped the fuck out when they found out she was a woman, and I didn't give a shit either way. Because I'm like, Metroid's badass, Samus is badass, I don't give a fuck, this character's cool, this game is cool. I love the new Zelda, the way that they've portrayed Zelda more recently as being a little more of an independent character, not the damsel in distress. Really cool. I still like my damsel in distress, so I still fucks with Peach and shit like that. I'm going to do a quick Google search of just female video game characters. Because the ones that they prop up are fucking horrible. And I don't want this podcast to run long, but I have to get this off my chest. Because it's starting to bother me. Because they're really propping up that goofy bitch from fucking The Last of Us, which again they're remaking The Last of Us Part 1, which yeah, we just got that fucking game. We don't need a remaster of a game that came out fucking 5 years ago. Get the fuck out of here. Don't remaster. You can re-release it, but why are you wasting time remastering some shit that's still good? But yeah, they're propping up the wrong female characters. I don't like The Last of Us any damn way. So this is just a quick list. This is just a Google search of of video game characters. Lara Croft, incredible character. I'm not so fond of the newer Lara Croft as much as I used to be, but newer Lara Croft is still good. Lara Croft is awesome. I understand she's, to some people, over-sexualized, but the newer, recent trilogy of Lara Croft games, or Tomb Raider games, kind of downgraded the sex appeal, I guess. I think it's not overly sexualized. She's not in shorts and shit like that. Tits aren't hanging out. But she's still super dope and super strong. I just think she's a little too headstrong now. but she's still a very cool character. Samus Aran obviously is on this list. Chun-Li, super badass. Jill Valentine, I get. Tifa Lockhart, again, sexualized as much as you want to be upset about, but the fact she is a super strong character, mind you, in a fucking game where everybody has weapons or guns, she's out there throwing hands. So be mad if you want to, but Tifa's body slamming giant monsters and shit. So whatever, man, fuck off. Aloy sucks. Cortana is a Windows robot. Like, I don't even know why this is a thing. Ellie sucks. Ada Wong's kind of cool. Commander Shepard is just a fucking flip-flop swap of who gives a shit. Katana from Mortal Kombat, dope character. I think all fighting female game characters are fucking dope. Because, again, they are able to go toe-to-toe with every male. There's no, sexual, separation or anything like that. Bitches be out there throwing hands. Diva, my favorite character in the fucking Overwatch series. And again, not because she's some gamer anime looking chick, it's because she has a giant fucking robot, and I love Gundams. And the fact that I can take that giant robot, send it out, and make it explode, and then start shooting motherfuckers. Excuse me, what's there not to like? 2B, also very cool. Kasumi from Dead or Alive, also very cool. I think she's also in Ninja Gaiden. So, a lot of dope characters. This is a long list. Yuna from Final Fantasy, another great character. Lily has given me fucking headaches in Tekken for fucking ever. So, fuck that bitch, but I still like her. Sadie Adler from Red Dead Redemption is a great character. Super cool character. Great story for that character as well. Sonya Blade, another great character. Like, again, there's tons of fucking female characters. Amaterasu's a female dog? No shit. I did not know that. Amaterasu is the character from Okami, the fucking dog game from PlayStation 2 era. Fucking dope. Did not know that was a girl dog. I don't think it matters because it's still a dog, but I think it counts. Bayonetta. Also, again, I understand sexualized, but literally the female equivalent to Devil May Cry. The fact that you can have something like that and it's as dope as Devil May Cry, fucking phenomenal. And she made it into Smash. Dante didn't make it into Smash, but Bayonetta made it into Smash. So that should tell you something. So, tell me your favorite female character, because there's a ton of them. There is literally no excuse for not. I think every gamer has one female character that they just like, just for the fact that they're cool characters. Not for weird sexual reasons, not for because they're hot. A lot of these female game characters are just dope in general. Mine's a Samus Aran because she's from a great game. She's a super cool character. The only time I think they fucked her up was Metroid The Other M, which was kind of eh. But it was still a Metroid game, so I played the shit out of it. So, comment below your favorite female video game character. And for the love of God, if you say Aloy or what's that other bitch, Ellie, fuck you. Immediately, just fuck you because those games suck. I hate both of those games. Aloy was just ruined because Kelly hated that game, and I can't play it because every time I try and play it, I get bored. And I remember her shitting on it, and Last of Us sucks. I've tried to play Last of Us at least 4 times, and I've been bored out of my mind every damn time. So, to hell with both of those games. All right, moving right along. Should I hit another commercial break? Let's do one more commercial break. One more commercial break. And then we'll slowly wrap up this episode. So enjoy these commercials. Help me get paid. And thank you all for listening and tuning in, whatever. I'll be right back, and drink some water while you're at it. When these commercials come on, matter of fact, drink some water and then go check out the merch store, because there's plenty of merch to be had. The shirts are up and available. And if you don't like the shirts, comment below why you don't like my shirts. Tell me why. I want to know why. All right, enjoy these commercials. Welcome back to Nonsense. I'm still here, the same host, FM Bob. Hopefully you enjoyed those commercials. But back to the show, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, after all of this gaming stuff, obviously I have to talk about the most important announcement, the king of announcements of the last few weeks. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yes, the new game is coming out. I'm well aware. Trust me, I didn't miss a goddamn thing. And if, again, you're following me on Twitter, you would have known that I went up live specifically for that information. And we streamed the whole press conference, and I gave a full, in-depth talk and deep dive into the trailers. So yes, I'm well aware. Rebirth comes out next year in the winter. Crisis Core Reunion comes out this winter. Ever Crisis comes out sometime this summer. We have plenty. And yes, obviously, for the Steam heads who complain that Final Fantasy VII is on PC, but it's only on Epic Games. You get it on Steam now, so congratulations. Because that mattered so much to you. But either way, yeah, all the games are coming out. Everything's out. Everything Final Fantasy is damn near available at this point. They did talk a little bit more of First Soldier. I've been playing First Soldier, and I'm not a big fan of Battle Royale games, but I play it maybe once a day, once every other day. It's just a fun game. I actually just enjoy it for the traversing and hanging around, the slums of the Undercity, and now that they've added the Upper City plate. So I just actually enjoy just hanging out with a couple people, and we just literally just traverse the land and fight monsters. I don't even play the Battle Royale consistently. I enjoy unlocking the costume characters and all of that shit. Tons of cool stuff in the game. I'm glad that First Soldier's still moving strong. Let's talk Crisis Core. So, I had an initial reaction. I don't know if the initial reaction is still available on Twitch, but if it is, go back and check it out while you have the chance. My initial reaction was we didn't need a Crisis Core game. I didn't see any point in remaking it because I actually like the original Crisis Core. But then my brain started working slowly. And it's very simple. If you've played, this is going to be slightly spoiler enriched. So if you don't want to hear this, just fast forward and I'll make sure it's apparent when I'm not talking about Final Fantasy again. But Final Fantasy Remake has pretty much made it apparent. The last chance, by the way. If you don't want to get spoiled, don't listen. This is your last chance. Click off now. Too late. I'm talking about it. Final Fantasy VII Remake has made it apparent that Zack is no longer dead. Zack is not dead. Zack dies in his game, and he is no longer around. So, Zack is alive in Remake. That's how the game ends. They even reiterated in the DLC with the Yuffie story, and they re-show that Zack makes it all the way to the church. So Zack is 100% alive now. So with them re-releasing Crisis Core, I thought the whole point was to show Zack's story. And I'm like, oh, cool, they're going to make it easily available for people to play Zack's story. All the clips and cutscenes are one-to-one remakes of the original game. So it made me think, what's the point? The original game doesn't look that bad. Just remaster the original game. You don't need brand new graphics and all of that stuff. Then I thought about it. Zack's alive. And in his game, he dies. They're remaking this game and also giving it a new name because the original game is just Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. This one is Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. They're changing the ending. Zack will live at the end of this game. Mark my fucking words. The only reason I can understand them remaking the game for no reason was just so you can get used to the new voice acting and changing the fact that the Buster Sword is now the same Buster Sword across the entire game. Because for some reason, the PSP version, they changed the look a little bit. Not a big deal. But they want you to get reacclimated with the story and understand what's going on and show the whole story from start to finish. But in the end of this game, Zack will live. He will live, and it will continue in Final Fantasy Remake fashion. So there might be little tidbits of this game that now match up better with Remake instead of the original series. Because the big thing that they've mentioned multiple times now is that we are not remaking this game for shot anymore. This is a new game. This is a new story. We will just hold on to certain points of the game that are important. But the game is now different. They make it very apparent in Remake that this is now a different game and a different story. They have to re-release Crisis Core, but change it just a bit so it makes sense with the new Remake. So that's my first thought. And on top of the fact that they have already mentioned that PlayStation is re-releasing PSP games. And the only PSP game that's not available is Crisis Core. So they're probably going to make Crisis Core Original available to be played on PlayStation Plus later. Also while having Crisis Core Reunion. So they will have both games available. But I think they're going to release them slightly farther apart. So since Crisis Core Reunion is coming out this winter, I could see maybe waiting till, I'd say maybe March, April of next year before they re-release original Crisis Core so you can play that as well. So that's my thoughts on the Crisis Core thing. I didn't want it, but now I kind of understand why it's coming out. Ever Crisis is what I'm telling everybody to get as soon as it's available, because Ever Crisis will get you caught up on fucking everything. Because I've told everyone 1,000 times over that I know you want to play the remake. The remake is the new shit. But it makes no fucking sense if you don't know what happened in the original games. This is not a remake of the original game. I'm sorry. There's bits and pieces and elements of the original game. This is a different game entirely. To fully grasp Final Fantasy VII, you must play the older game. You must have prior knowledge of what goes on in Crisis Core, before Crisis, because they reference before Crisis, Crisis Core, the original game, Advent Children, and even the books that go along with it. There's, if I'm not mistaken, 2 books available for Final Fantasy right now. I don't remember one of them, but I know it has the full story of Denzel and some of the other characters after the ending of the original game. And then there's another one where, if I'm not mistaken, it's called The Kids Aren't All Right, where one of the characters that wasn't in the original game is now, 2 of the characters, matter of fact, that weren't in the original games show up in Remake. I know those characters because I read the books. And sadly enough, I will say one of the characters is slightly ruined for me because I read the books. So I kind of know what happens with that character, which is great, but it's great to see that character in the game early. So a lot of this game you kind of need to catch on ahead of time. The lore of this game is deep. Again, remember, a mobile game that is no longer available and was only available in Japan, a PSP game that is hard as fuck to find and was not on the digital market. So you had to have the original, one of the 3 original PSPs, and a hard copy of the game. Then the original PlayStation 1 game, which has been remastered 1,000 times over. Original Final Fantasy VII is available from Steam to Switch, PlayStation and Xbox, Game Pass, you name it. You can play the original game. No excuses. They have fast forward buttons so you don't have to sit through the dialogue. They have no fighting buttons so you don't have to do any of the fucking random fights. You can even heal yourself on demand with no consequences. You can literally just do a story-rich gameplay and not even have to worry about the difficulty of the game. You can literally just cheat the whole fucking game. No excuses to not play the original. The movie is widely available, from Blu-ray, DVD, to 4K video, to digital. Fucking YouTube has a movie up. Watch the movie. The movie's incredible to me. It's a little dated, yes, but it's still pivotal to the story of the characters. The books, not so much. I'm not saying you have to watch it, but I think once you get to that point, those books are going to be engraved in your mind and you're going to want to read them. So again, I advise read those books because those are really good stories as well. And really good at connecting the dots of all the games. I know they're not fully, I think one of the books is not canon. No, matter of fact, I'm sorry. Both books are canon. Both books are canon. So absolutely no reason for you not to read them. And mind you, most copies of the movie also has a complete, here's all the shit you need to know about Final Fantasy in an hour-long video. So it just recaps everything. So there's, again, no excuse not to know the story before you hop into Remake. I implore that everyone at least does some knowledge-based research on Final Fantasy as a whole before you jump into Remake. It will make your Remake gameplay so much better. If you don't have the privilege, I am here, and I am more than willing to do a deep dive conversation or podcast episode if you demand it, where I just explain the entire story from start to finish. It will be a 5-part series because there's a lot to talk about, but I will gladly explain everything there is to know about Final Fantasy because I love it so fucking much. It's one of the first video games I ever played on my own, one of the first few games I've bought on my own, one of the first few games that I've watched, dealt with everything, lore-based all the way through from beginning to end. I've had theories about how the game should go, how the remake should go, everything. I've done it all for this game, so. Incredible game, incredible story. Please do your due diligence. It's well worth it. Trust me. All right. 50-minute mark. I think that's enough spoilers for fucking Final Fantasy. So there you go. I'm back to not spoiling Final Fantasy. For those of you who are watching, I'll leave it's a 50-minute time mark, so I'll leave a mark if you want to skip over the spoilers. With that being said, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will be coming out next year, which is just a continuation of the Final Fantasy Remake game. That, again, I implore you all to do some deep research, play some of the other games, get Ever Crisis that will run you through the entire original form of the game. I hear there may be a small twist to it, but we shall see. As of right now, I just know it as a full playthrough of all the story of Final Fantasy in a mobile form, so it's easy to digest. So that should be cool. It should be a shortened version of everything, so you get major key story plots that are needed across the Before Crisis, Crisis Core, the main game, and the movie in mobile form, so you don't even have to do any hard work. And if I'm not mistaken, the game is free. So it should come out soon, I guess within a month or so. So Ever Crisis is going to be great. And then Rebirth comes out next winter. It's just a continuation of Remake. I have my handful of thoughts on it. I think it's going to be good. I hope it's going to be good. There's going to hopefully more questions answered than asked. They have also stated that it's going to be just a 3-part game now. So no, after that, everybody was worried there's going to be 4 or 5 parts and they're going to milk it to death. They are not. I think 3 is good enough. It's not bad. I'm happy about it. So let's get what we need. And hopefully they do us justice with this next game. Here's the one thing. Here's the catch to all of this. And I know everybody was not expecting this part of it. I am going from this moment forward now, as now I've talked about it on Twitch. Now it's on the podcast. I will not be consuming or talking about anything that has to do with anything that has not been released when it comes to Final Fantasy VII. So I will not be looking at trailers for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I will not be looking up interviews for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm going radio silent on the next game. I will be enjoying Crisis Core Reunion as it comes out. Hopefully I don't see anything about that until it comes out. I will be enjoying, the mobile games. But as if anything else of me just playing the game myself, I'm going radio silent. So if you care about me in this podcast, please do not spoil anything for Final Fantasy for me. I'm going radio silent as I did the first time around. I'm making sure I've unsubscribed from a handful of people that I truly love. Maximilian Dude, if you're out there and you're listening, I hope you are, and I know you are. I have unsubscribed from you, not because I dislike you, because you keep talking about Final Fantasy, and I don't want shit ruined for me. I don't want to mull any more theories over. I don't want to think about it. I'm just going to wait. It's 1 year. It's 1 year, and all my questions will be answered in a year. 7 seconds. What will you do with it? So yes, I am going radio silent on Final Fantasy VII until the game is released. I will just be playing it. I'll be playing it same way I did it the first time around. I'll play it in my own personal time. Probably going to take some time off to enjoy these games. And then after the fact, I will stream them with clear conscience and clairvoyance. The reason why I'm doing that is because certain games I want to enjoy on my own time, relax, comfortable, and not having to talk over them. Now, if you guys are okay with it, let me know below. If you're okay with me just kind of sitting back and enjoying the game and you just go along the ride with me with very little commentary, I will be more than happy to do so. But the reason why I don't want to do it is because I feel like when I'm on Twitch, I need to be entertaining. But this game, I know I'm not going to be talking a lot. It's just going to be me in my fucking underwear playing a goddamn game. So that's all it is. It's not that I don't want to play these games with you guys or I don't want to entertain you guys. I know I'm not going to be entertaining because I just want to kick back and relax. I have a fucking bed that I'm going to play it in. I have a brand new fucking gaming chair that I'm going to be playing in. Probably not this one, but I have a couch over there that I'm going to be playing in. I'm just going to chill with my surround sound and just fucking kick back and relax. I will get to playing with you guys after the fact. Plus, that gives me a reason to say you guys should go try it out for yourself. Hence why I don't typically always play games when they first come out on stream or upload episodes of them right away. Because I want you guys to enjoy playing the game yourselves. I feel like it's fucked up that certain, especially YouTubers and content creators, get early copies of the game and are playing through the entire game before you even have a chance to play it. Spoiling your fun, you know what I mean? There's a handful of people that got Final Fantasy VII early. I got Final Fantasy VII early. And I was like, I'm not going to play through this game and ruin it for other people. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to shut the fuck up because I knew people that wanted to play it. I'm like, I got my copy like a week early. I'm like, I'm not going to ruin this shit for anybody else. I didn't even touch the game. I think I installed it and played what was encapsulated in the demo so I didn't have to play it again. But I played that and then I just kind of sat back and waited and let everybody else enjoy. I played the game myself and enjoyed it. and then I came back around and talked about it. But I didn't ruin it for anybody else. So, yeah, I'm going radio silent. That's just how it goes for Final Fantasy. If you guys want me to play it with you regardless, let me know so I know to stream it. Because I'm looking for shit to stream. I play games that I like. I'm not a true Twitch streamer where I play what is popular or what gets me more views or likes. I play what I like and hope you guys enjoy going along the ride with me. I think in that sense, I'm not in it for the content. I'm in it for me. I do the games for me and I talk about shit that I like talking about. So, yeah, that's pretty much it on Final Fantasy. I know everybody was like, man, I can't wait to find out what he says about Final Fantasy. I was in a love-hate relationship while I watched that press conference because I was like, they're going to waste my time with a bunch of bullshit. But they showed us just enough, not too much. I don't want anything else. I don't want to see gameplay. I don't care. I just want to wait until the game fucking comes out. I'll be patient. Hopefully we get to enjoy Gold Saucer. That's probably the only thing I want, is to be able to enjoy Gold Saucer. And like I've mentioned 1,000 times over, this game, which looks like it might happen, this game should start directly in the flashback. It should not start anywhere else. You should turn the game on, hit press start, and the game drops you into the flashback. And it's you and fucking Sephiroth. And everybody should, for those who don't know the original game, because you guys won't know, if you do the wrong thing, you're going to pop in this game and say, I just fought that dude in the last game. Why are we teaming up together? If you knew the original game, you would know why. So, hopefully that's where they start the game. The game should be fine. I'm looking forward to it. It is what it is. So, let's end the podcast on a lighter note, with some simple shit. I would like to know, because the 4th of July is coming up, do me one big favor. I really have no big plans yet. So comment below. What are you doing? How are you celebrating the 4th of July this year? Are you just hanging out with family and friends? Are you popping off your own fireworks? Are you going, somewhere to go watch some fireworks? I haven't actually made any big plans. So I'm more than welcome to take some suggestions from everyone else. And let me know your summer plans in general, because summer is officially kicking the fuck off. I mean, it is warm as hell here in the fucking Windy City. There's a shit ton of stuff to do. We got the Taste of Chicago coming up pretty soon. Kelly's birthday is coming up pretty soon. So I would like to know what you guys are doing for the summer, because I've actually had no plans for any summer. Summers are always heavy work, time for me. I work twice as hard in the summer, and I chill out more in the winter time. So my schedule's all backwards. But I think this summer I want to do something fun. So we are planning on doing possibly a road trip. If she's up for it, I would love to podcast on the road trip, because I was planning on doing more podcasts in the car again. We're bringing that series back with video, thankfully. So hopefully that all works out, but that's our plan right now. I don't think we're doing any major vacations, because we just did the cruise earlier this year. But again, I want to know what you guys are doing this summer. Give me some ideas. What do you think is something cool to do during the summer? Or what are you guys doing this summer? What are you guys doing for the 4th of July? It's a dope holiday. I know Juneteenth just passed, but hey man, I'm a big 4th of July guy. I love 4th of July because it's just fun. It's all American fun. I can't wait to get out there on the barbecue grill. I'm going to be smoking a brisket. Hopefully I do this right this time, because I got my side smoker. I learned some techniques. I'm going to be trying to smoke my own fucking brisket this time. 13 hours in the smoker. I got the right charcoal chips and whatnot. So we're gonna see how this goes, man. It's going to be interesting. So yeah, comment below what you guys are doing for the 4th, what you eating, what you doing, where you going, man. I'd love to know, man. You ain't got to tell me specifics, but just give me some blanket ideas, man. Some blanket ideas of what the fuck's going on in your world. Other than that, I think that will be the podcast for today. Yeah, I think that's it. You guys have had enough for me. So yeah, let me know what you guys are doing. And until we meet again, make sure you go to the link tree. It's right below. If you just check the description, there's a link tree. Sends you everywhere you need to go, from Facebook to Twitter. My TikTok's on there. I post a handful of videos every once in a great while. I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I haven't started yet. I'm going to do a series on old games that I own and wish they would bring back. So we're just going to go through a deep dive of my collection at some point. And maybe we'll do some fucking show and tell, because I like doing show and tell. So follow me on TikTok, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. That's how you keep up, Twitter. That's how you keep up with streams and podcast episodes. And mind you, podcasts are available right then and there, so you don't even have to go anywhere else. But if you want to, check me out here on YouTube or on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts. I'm everywhere. Amazon has me now. If you want to just tell Alexa that you want to listen to this podcast, I'm available on Alexa, man. There's no excuses not to listen to me, man. Check me out anywhere you can. Share with your friends. Let them know that this cool dude wants to make a podcast a living, because I really would love to, man. So continue help blowing me up. Continue to support me. Go buy some merch. I made the shirts for you and for me. They're dope shirts, very comfortable. I wear them more often than you think. I try not to always wear them on the podcast because I just don't want to ruin them. But really nice shirts. Get yourself a cup. Make sure you get yourself one of the water bottles, because you got to stay hydrated this summer. It's hot than a motherfucker out there. So yeah, buy you some stuff. Continue to support me. Tell your friends. And, just support me any way you can, man. I'm just a man living a dream. Or trying to live a dream. Or I think I'm living the dream, though. But either way, support me any way you can. Follow me everywhere you can. And don't forget, I'd rather feel like shit than be a piece of shit. Is that how it went? Yeah, I'd rather feel like shit than be a piece of shit. And if you are